Good afternoon, student. Today a new topic is impulse. What is actually impulse? When a large force acting for a short duration time, there is a finite change in momentum. That is called as impulsive force. For example, the force exerted by the weight on hitting a ball or the blow of hammer on a nail is a common example of your impulsive force. So, impulsive force G is equal to force into time. Okay. F into C. If F be the force acting for a small time interval, acting for a small time interval dt, small time interval dt, then impulsive force dj is equal to F into dt. Now taking integration this one, it is t1 to t2, j is equal to F integration of dt, that is t1 to t2, that equal to F t2 minus t1 by dating them. This value is your F into delta t, J is equal to. Okay. It is the average force. Now, the unit and dimension of your impulsive force J. Unit in SI, force expressed in Newton, time in second. Okay. In CGS, it is dyne and second. Same as that of the unit of your momentum. Clear? Now, dimension. Dimension of impulsive force or impulse. That is ml t minus 2 into your t. I simply give you ml t minus 1. It is also the same dimension as your momentum. Clear? Now, impulse momentum theorem. What is actually impulse momentum theorem? The impulsive force is equal to the change in momentum of a body. That is called as your impulse momentum theorem. According to Newton's second law of motion, the force equal to rate of change of your momentum. Okay. So change in momentum equal to force into small time interval dt. Taking integration on this one, from time interval t1 to t2, it is from p1 to p2. It became p2 minus p1 and it is p2 minus t1. Okay. This gives you your impulse. That is your J. It is your change in momentum. So the impulsive force is equal to change in momentum, that is P2 minus P1. It is your impulsive momentum theorem. Or simply it is write down in this way, J is equal to P2 minus P1. Okay. Now, what is the third law of motion? All of you know that the third law of motion is defined as in this way: to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is called as your third law of motion. To every action there is an equivalent opposite reaction. Two body A and B. The force exerted by A by B is FAB, and force on B exerted by A, that is FBA. Okay, FAB, force on A by the body B, and FBA, force on B by A. It is your same magnitude but the opposite direction. FBA equal to minus of FAB. Okay. So this is your third law of motion. Now, law of conservation of momentum. What is law of conservation of momentum? In the absence of external force, the total linear momentum is remain constant. So look here, law of conservation of momentum. In the absence of external force, total linear momentum remain conserved or constant. Okay, it means for isolated system where the external force is zero, total linear momentum is remains conserved. According to Newton's second law of motion, force equal to the rate of change of momentum. Okay. For isolated system, the external force equal to zero. So dP by dt equal to zero, dP equal to zero, and the momentum is constant. Okay. This is your law of conservation of momentum. In the absence of external force, total linear momentum of the system is remain conserved.